afternoon, guys. I am back and I am working on my October design team project for Artzology. And I decided to make kind of like a lap book, but like a like file folio type thing. It's kind of I don't know, I think maybe like a variation. I'm thinking of Grammy's Keepsakes. Last month she did a lap book, and then I've seen a couple of people make like file folder folio type. So it's kind of along the same lines, but I've come up with a couple of, I won't say a couple of different things, but one thing in particular, obviously. Okay, so this is just scrap chipboard, and this just came off the back of 12 by 12 papers. And I save those because you can use them for all kinds of stuff. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. But if not, there's a helpful hint for today. Okay, so let's get started. You'll need 2 pieces of chipboard. And then on the first sheet, we're going to score at 5.5, 5 3/4, 11.5. And then we're going to flip it and do it at 9 inches. Then sheet 2, we're going to score at 2, 8, 8 1/4, and then flip and score at 9. Okay, so let's see. So first one at 5.5. And you really could use any chipboard. I'm just using what I have because I'm still doing that 5 3/4. I'm still doing the challenge of no spend till 2020. So I'm really trying to incorporate that into everything that I'm doing. Yeah, it is kind of a challenge. I won't lie. It has been a challenge. Okay, and then we're going to go over here to 11.5, which is right here. And hopefully this whole thing will be mostly in frame. Okay, then I'm going to flip it. It doesn't matter which direction at this point. And then we're going to score at 9 inches right here. Okay, and I am scoring kind of deep on that because it is kind of thick. Okay, so I'm going to grab the second sheet here. And then second sheet is going to be scored at 2 inches. Okay, and then again at 8 inches. And then again at 8 1/4. Okay, I'm going to flip it and score it at 9 again. Okay. I'm going to fold and burnish it all. And this stuff does crack. It's not quite like chipboard per se. Okay, then burnish up this one here. Okay, let's do the other piece real quick. I think it also has to do with how old it is too. Okay, now what I did was Obviously, this is way too big to be working on individually. Or I'm sorry, together. Like, so I didn't glue them together yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut this a little bit at an angle here, and I'm going to cut this whole piece away. Just up to that score mark. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to leave this one and cut out this right here. I'm going to angle in just a little bit. I'll show you why in just a minute. Okay, so then we're left with our pieces looking like this. Okay, so, and I'm debating, should we just go ahead and glue this one so I can show you? Yeah, how about we do that? And I am using this because I'm actually out, or almost out of Fabri-Tac. And this is just Aleene's tacky glue something. I don't tend to use this one very often because I think I don't know if I use too much or what, but I think it warps my papers or like wrinkles it a little bit. Okay, so you just want to kind of line that up. And with Aleene's, you got a little bit of work time, so oops. Stick that down. And then I come over to the back side and really line it up. Still moving. That's the only other thing I like the Fabri-Tac better for dry time. This stuff, though it's sorry, quick drying, it's not quite as quick as the Fabri-Tac. And see, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't think it gives you as nice a, oh, that's probably right in your eyeballs, huh? Sorry about that. All right, so then we have this here. See, I don't know. I just don't think it's, maybe it's just this particular bottle. I don't know. It just seems like it doesn't, unless you're constantly working with it until it's dry, it doesn't seem to stick. I don't know why. All right, so we're left with this. So here is where you would start like your decorating. And see, I didn't quite take enough, I don't think, off that pocket. Because what you don't want is for this to catch up on your crease here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that down just a little bit more. And then I'll have to check the other pocket. I think that one's all right. Okay, so now that we have the general shape of everything, this is how it's going to kind of go together. Okay, I'm going to set this aside because I've actually been working on the actual project, which is here. Okay, so obviously it wasn't white. It was more of the brown chipboard. So I've already cut, inked, and gold tipped everything. So I think what we'll do is go ahead and start gluing each piece down. I think I'm going to work from the inside and then out to the outside because I'm not sure that we have enough space to do the other way. So, and for this one, I'm just using my art glitter glue. And I guess I should, I don't know if you guys remember, but I am using Deb's fun Christmas pack. Okay, now what the ultimate goal, I think, for me is to try to make sure that I get all of these pieces. And this is actually one of the background pieces that I'm using. And then they're just cut a little bit smaller, obviously, so that you can still see the brown through it. Okay, and then try to line it up as best as you can with your edges and your top. And if you're using art glitter glue, you know ahead of time that it doesn't, you don't have a whole lot of time to maneuver your stuff. Once it's down, it's down. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this pocket up while we're here. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's been kind of crazy at the Praga house like usual. My car's in the shop getting body repair done, and it was supposed to be done, what is today, Wednesday? It's supposed to be done tomorrow, but they ended up finding more damage. So yeah, that's been interesting. Yeah, very interesting it has been. Anyways, it was just some front end damage. I wasn't in an accident or anything. Just parking lot, like hit and run type of thing. So at any rate, yep. So then, yeah, so, you know, they never know until they get it all apart, I guess. So yeah, interesting times. Yeah, so I think, well, I do have some, I'm sure a lot of you watch Gail, and so she's doing a meet and greet in Denver. And so I am going on Friday. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, I can't wait to meet her. And I'm really hoping that I don't fangirl her, you know? Because I tend to get a little excited about stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really hoping that I just don't. And it turns out that Grace has the school off that day, so she's coming with me. So yeah, that's from like 10 to noon. So we're gonna just have a girls' day, and we might just hit some shops down in Denver. Maybe do some Christmas shopping for her dad and her brother. Up in our area, I mean, we do, the closest like mall type place is about, probably about 30-40 minutes away. And they're all right, but you know, I think sometimes you see more, or you know, like small towns don't always have the latest and greatest. Does that make any sense? I mean, and I guess we're not too small anymore, actually. I can't really say that anymore. Our population in our little town, because we technically live in Masonville, and which is hardly ever on a map unless, you know, there's a flood or a fire. But yeah, so we live up that way, but technically it's, since our town isn't incorporated, it all runs through Loveland, and Loveland's grown by like 60,000 people in the last 2 years. It's crazy. Yeah, so it's been a bit nuts. It takes me now, to get to those malls that I'm talking about. It now takes me over an hour from my front door to any of those shops, and it used to only take me about 35 minutes. So yeah, and of course, you know, when you have an influx of new people, there's not, the city, you know, the town didn't have time to catch up, obviously, because it happened pretty much like overnight, right? So yeah, our roads are pretty full of traffic, and you know, housing's been an issue for people. You know, that, you know, they're going up, but obviously they weren't going up fast enough. And so yeah, we watched our quaint little town basically almost become a subsidiary of Denver in the last 2 years. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so yeah, I think we'll do some shopping in Denver. Okay, and we're this little guy. I keep trying to figure out why people like come to Colorado. I mean, it's a pretty state, don't get me wrong. I mean, it is gorgeous, but like there's not that much to do. I mean, if you're a hiker and a climber or you like to ski, then yeah, Colorado's the place for you. But if not, yeah, I mean, we're not, or at least we weren't, like one of the leading, or at least like not Denver. Like, so anything north of Denver used to just really just be farm country. Not a whole lot of like industrial stuff, but over the last couple of years, it's really, we always say our town is growing up. Cause like when I was a kid, like the only really industrial business or site that was like big or like well known was, we used to have the sugar factory. What is that, like GW or something? We used to have a plant here in Loveland, but oh gosh, I want to say it was the 80s, or maybe was it the night? No, I think it was the late 80s. They had a molasses spill, and like, I mean, it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. Like all the neighborhoods and all the cars, I mean, we're talking inches of molasses all over the roads. It was, like I said, it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. But yeah, it buried that part of town for a long time. I mean, it was a really drawn out process of getting all that cleaned up. Yeah, there's, if you're ever in this area, we have a little museum and it shows quite a bit of the destruction. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to go ahead and clip those. I'm sure you saw me clip the other side because it doesn't seem, well, that side seems to be holding, but for what, I wonder if it's the paint maybe. Because I don't know if you guys can tell. What I did is I guess now that we're on this side, I can show you. So I took vintage photo around the edges to kind of darken them up a little bit. Then I edged everything in gold. And I don't know if you guys have kind of figured this out yet, but everything I do is like a stepping stone to the next project. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, yeah, if you ever really want to know what's coming up, you can just watch the videos and pretty much figure it out. It'll be something soon of all of the different techniques. If you'll remember back in August, this was the tipping in gold is what I did with that little mini journal I made with Tracy Fox's designs. So yeah, so I build usually on skills, like especially if it's something I haven't done before and I want to try it. I start, on one project and then I just build on those skills. And then on this pink one, this comes in the kit this way, kind of grunged up around the corners in some areas. And then I just tipped it here in the hickory smoke. So yeah, I thought they blended really well together. Okay, so, and I guess I'm still pretty uncertain about the cover. I'm not sure, like I know what I want to use, but I'm not sure what else to put on it. I don't know, that seems to be my creative roadblock lately about covers. I don't know. It's not usually a roadblock for me, but yeah, the last little bit I've been kind of dithering, I guess would be a good word. Do I like that? Do I not like that? Another reason why I'm kind of lining this is because obviously this chipboard isn't like crazy heavy duty, right? I would equate it to like medium chipboard. It's like thicker than like a pizza box, but not as thick as like, the 1/4 inch thick chipboard, or I guess it's not chipboard, like backer board. Which I do think some people call that chipboard. So thank you to all those new subscribers, and thank you to my old subscribers for advertising that giveaway that we're doing, or that I'm doing. Well, because I don't know, I think we're kind of a collective group here. Yeah, it's going pretty well. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay. Boy, I don't even know what to talk about. It's kind of been one of those quiet days. Oh, well, I did have to turn the heater on for the first time since like April here, which, you know, not really excited about that. But I will say it's the first time since we've lived back out here that I have been able to wait until October to turn it on, which that's pretty amazing because we're usually probably the second week of September, usually at night we're cool enough I have to turn it on. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I did enjoy that. Up until like 2 nights ago, the windows were still like cracked at night. So kind of bummed to see the season come to an end, but really excited that it waited as long as it did. But I do think fall is finally here. This morning on the way taking Grace to school, we did see a couple of trees that were giving up the ghost, as we say. Their leaves are finally turning. So there should be some really, really, really pretty leaves in Colorado soon. Most of the bushes are starting to turn. And by bushes, I mean like the wild bushes, like the wild chokecherry bushes are pretty prevalent in this area. Those are all starting to turn. So that's always fun to see. I think they're like the earliest to turn. I'm probably boring the socks off you guys, right? Because I've never been totally secure, I guess, in doing like a process, process like start to finish type of thing. So I guess, well, I don't know. You guys will have to let me know what you think of the process. Like, do you like it? Do you not? Would you rather me just show you highlights of it? I'm not sure. I mean, I certainly don't mind, turning on the camera and doing like craft along with me type of things, but if that's not really what you guys are looking for, that's okay too. I enjoy both. As long as you want to hear me talking. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, so this is going to be the cover right here. And then when you open it up, it'll flip out this direction, right? Here'll be where the journal is, right? So, and then I think I do have the pockets for this prepared already. So, and these also come in the kit. They do come with a little bit of an edging to make like a pocket that you can stick more in. But I want this part to lay, I think, as flat as possible because I plan to stuff these pockets pretty full of stuff. So we can get those down real quick. And then I am probably going to ask you guys another question because I'm still out on the fence about it. I'm not sure which one to use on the cover. Like, I love all of them, and they all, I think, in their own way would bring something to the book as far as like the cover portion of it. I just cannot decide which little guy to stick on the cover. Okay, so there's some little pockets there. Okay. All right, so this is our cover. So originally I have this little guy. And then I think we would definitely have to, if I were to use this piece here, which comes in the kit, we definitely have to kind of bring it up and out, right? I don't know with what yet. Let's see. What do we got that we could stick in there to make that flat? All right. So we can use that, or we could trim this Christmas down. And I've got some plates we could, like little golden plates we could do here. Like I could edge it out. Here, let me see if I can do what I'm thinking, or at least partial. And this is the words from the kit. It says, like, you know, those little places where they have, where the artists leave or name the kit. That's all this is. So I'm thinking, you know, we could edge it out here in the vintage photo. I don't know how much is still wet on there. Oh, that's not great, but that's okay. We don't need it to be great because it won't be the one I actually use. All right. So we could do that kind of thing with the little book plate. Let me see if I've got one handy. I think I have a big one, but I don't handy, but I don't know. I think I will have to look through my little bin. I've got like this little plate here, like that, or we have so this is the little bear, or we have the little penguin, which he looks really cute too, or we have the little reindeer, which I'd probably have to offset him a little bit too as far as like colors. We have that one. I like that one too. All right, and then we have this little guy, and he looks cute too. But again, I think we'd need to put something behind him to kind of bring him out to the front. Okay, so we are going to be done with the video for now. In the comments, if you have a preference on which one you liked out of those 4, leave it in the comments, and then yeah, then maybe we can just put those on. Yeah, like I said, I couldn't decide. I'm almost thinking I like the reindeer, but oh, they all look nice. So yeah, put down in the comments which one is your favorite, and yeah, we'll just talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.